What if Mike Tyson was an MMA fighter? Right? Nate says, what did you say?
He'd be a beast, man.
Nate says that prime Mike Tyson beats Brock Lesnar.
Any day of the week.
It's fun to think about because while the man is a phenomenal athlete, he never fought in MMA and it wasn't as popular when he was in his prime. But what would he do if he were an MMA fighter? Let's talk about the punching, the types of punching he would do, which we kind of already know. Head movement, how head movement works in MMA, because there are some people that are like, oh, you can't move your head because you get kicked. That's not true. You can move your head in MMA, kickboxing, and Muay Thai. And we'll talk about the footwork. A lot of people asked about this little shuffle. When I do this, how it would translate to kicks. So if Mike Tyson were an MMA fighter, this is what he would do. He doesn't need to become a world-class grappler. No. He needs to rely on his strengths. He had big, powerful legs. He had a strong mind. He didn't care how his feet ended up. He had strong stance, strong footwork, and could hit hard from any angle. I think that would be punches or kicks. I think people get confused when you talk about Tyson as an MMA fighter and think if you just took Tyson the boxer and tried to put him in an MMA fight and gave him 6 months to get ready, which is asinine. That would be stupid for a boxer to do that. Who do you think Mike Tyson fights like if he's an MMA fighter? Like, give me an example.
Oh, I'd say probably an old school Vitor Belfort, maybe not as without the jiu-jitsu probably.
Without the jiu-jitsu, because the grappling, that's what people want to know. People think, oh, I know what he would do for striking.
Or,
he would just do what he does normally, right?
Yeah, or Quentin Rampage Jackson, probably, or King Mo, one of those.
King Mo, Rampage, or Prime Vitor, right?
Prime Vitor, yeah.
Run me through, like, show me, like, Big John McCarthy says, are you ready?
Okay.
And Mike Tyson said, yes, I'm ready. What would my prime Mike Tyson do? So, okay, and this is an MMA fight. So just show me what he would do. Show me what he would do. MMA fight. Oh shit, the head movement. Here's the head movement, right? But what about now? What does he do? He gets taken down almost immediately. That's what he does, right? I don't think so. I think he fares a little bit better than people would think. Everyone thinks, oh, he's going to get taken down instantly because he's just a boxer. But we're talking not about Mike Tyson the boxer. We're talking about Mike Tyson the MMA fighter. And do you know what he would do? He would practice his ass off. The reason his head movement looked like that is because he practiced it for millions of hours. The reason his leg muscles were so big is because he practiced that peekaboo style for millions of hours. You don't think that if he said, oh, they're going to try to take me down, that he wouldn't become an expert at takedown defense? But I think for the striking, you know who I think he looks like? Call me crazy. And I hate to say this because I hate this dude.
Go ahead.
I think TJ Dillashaw.
What?
I think TJ Dillashaw, with the angles and the footwork and the constant adjustment of stances, that whole bang Muay Thai system, they don't care how their feet end up.
That's far-fetched.
They attack. They attack and attack and attack. Maybe not the same moves, but I'm saying the volume and the angles and the striking.
Maybe more like Henry Cejudo.
All right.
We'll edit that out. Bear with me, because what is he known for? It's people see this and his ferocity
and his footwork. You know,
right
from point A to point B.
Right. And he does not care where his feet end up. So that footwork heavy style and those kicks, and I think he does kick. I think Tyson kicks.
I see some good leg kicks, some good low leg kicks.
Yeah, big chopping. I see him with great hands, right? And I see him chopping those leg kicks. Mm-hmm. And people asked about the shuffling footwork and how it applies to kicks. I'll show you. This is actually really cool. This is something you can introduce even if you're not Mike Tyson. If he's really good at addressing him, I can use this shifting footwork to land kicks. So maybe he's good at addressing that kick. Watch this. This leg goes. He checks, right? Kick. It goes. Boom, like that. I put his weight on his back foot, and I've remained balanced and aggressive with a wide stance, covered distance, and landed a kick. I think stylistically, if he were kicking, it would be kicks like that. If you're from the front, right? Boom. I can go into the hamstring like that. Even if he lifts his leg to check it, right? I go pop, like that, knock him off balance. You can use the same footwork for kicks, and it's pulling my head off to the side. But you know what they're saying when I'm moving my head? What happens in kickboxing, Muay Thai, and MMA when you move your head?
Get caught.
You get kicked in the head, right? So I'm gonna tell you how you can use head movement when kicks are allowed, because people think that's a big problem. I move my head when they've already kicked. So say Cliff is throwing high volume stuff. A couple punches, a kick, a couple punches, right? Boom, and then a couple punches, bang, right? If he is just thrown a kick, that's when I like to move my head, right? So he throws his combo, boom, boom. I deal with the kick, boom, boom, boom. Then you can move your head. Go again, go. Throw whatever, right? Boom, boom. Then you can move your head. Now you might run into something every once in a while, but generally, right? Boom, boom, boom. Move your head, boom, bang. If he's just thrown a kick, kick comes, bang, I can move my head. If he's the type of guy that throws his kick and follows up with punches, he throws a kick, follows up with punches, boom. You can move your head when kicking is allowed, but I prefer you to do it when they've landed a kick. But what, you're the wrestler, how would he grapple?
So say probably like from maybe if like body
Big body locks, muscling.
No.
Yeah.
Let's say if he did learn how to wrestle, it'd be a simple double leg. That's all I would teach him. If he got to
Keep it simple.
Oh yeah, if he got to hold a boss rooting.
Yeah. Right, and stay on him. He would use his head a lot.
Probably no jiu-jitsu at all, man. Just straight probably ground him down. Lay and pray.
Yeah.
Boom, boom. I think Mark Holman would probably be one of his best trainers, actually.
Well, you said boss.
Oh yeah, boss. Yeah.
Yeah,
boss.
when you said boss Rutan,
Yeah.
you think that's the right guy for him?
I think the time where Tyson was thinking about doing some kickboxing or something, I think Boss probably would have been a better.
And do you know when Boss trained Kimbo?
Boss trained Kimbo.
He got Kimbo's grappling for a couple of those fights looked really good, and Boss didn't try to change who he was. But he didn't try to make them not them.
Yeah.
He didn't make them clones of him.
Yeah.
I think he would be all those things. I think he'd have an aggressive, footwork-based style. He'd be ferocious. He would hit hard, tight hooks, chopping leg kicks off of that shuffling footwork. I think he would have head movement. I think he would address kicks by when they throw their kicks by like kind of sitting down on it, and not this crop. We see this a lot now, even in high-level MMA. When someone throws a kick, any kind of kick, you know what I mean, overextending and overcompensating for when they strike. I think
probably beat him to the punch.
I think his shit would be like boom, boom, boom. I think he'd be tight like this the whole time, wide stance.
What about his clinch game?
Clinch game? I would think he would have excellent posture in the clinch. Right. Perfect for MMA. His MMA clinch would actually, you know what? I'm glad you asked that, because we just talked about the clinch stuff and the wall stuff in wrestling is different than Muay Thai and different than wrestling. It's its own unique discipline. It requires a unique posture. A Muay Thai clinch, we'd be standing up really tall, right? Trying to avoid elbows and not get our head pulled down, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They stand up really tall. And in wrestling, what do? We get down super duper duper low, right? His posture for the MMA clinch, where you're splitting the difference between the two things, he would have head position, and I think he would be one of the few people that could hit. A lot of times people think that like short shots in the clinch don't hurt, like you can't do damage.
Yeah.
I think he's so explosive and powerful that he'd be able to hurt you like this. Like, instead of really trying to like make a great position to get a takedown or to do something better, I think he could just beat you up like this, you know what I mean? Like just...
Or even let that shit go and just like tee off on you.
Like just get here and bang, 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 bang. Real like old school MMA.
Yeah.
You know how the guys would get finished and they wouldn't do this. MMA now, it looks like they either back all the way off or they go boom. But I think you'd see him putting dudes right here. Boom, 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 boom. Mm-hmm. What is your choice? Run? So you go to run, guess what? He shifts over. You go to run that way, he shifts over and follows you while chopping you, and not giving up his posture. I think he's a monstrous MMA fighter. Mm-hmm. He's a problem for anybody. I think he'd be sort of
Well, the way Boz trained Kimbo, right?
Yeah.
Early on, not become a jiu-jitsu guy.
Get to the cage.
Keep all his atrophy, keep everything that he already has.
Yeah.
Just make him more aware.
Right.
like an athlete.
Fill in the gaps
Yeah.
instead of trying to fundamentally change who somebody is.
That's right.
I think Mike Tyson would have made an excellent MMA fighter. I think he would have taken it really seriously. I think he definitely could have been like world champion material. Because like he is just an athlete. Like if you take an athlete of that caliber and teach them something new, they're going to pick it up like that. That's our thoughts. I know we missed a bunch of shit. I know that you're probably like screwing yourselves into the ceiling over the TJ Dillashaw thing is going to bother people.
But I see where you're coming from with the footwork. You know?
Right. I'm not saying he would look. I'm saying like the spirit or the strategy, the overall idea of how his stand-up worked.
That pressure.
Right. And that pace, that pressure, and those constant angles and having good answers no matter where we are. I think that's what a striking would look like. I don't think the kicks would be a problem for him. And the body kicks, I think he beats him to the punch. Boom. The leg kicks, I think they'll regret leg kicking him because I think he's going to add that pressure.
I was going to say, you got an answer for the lead leg? I'm just curious. Just kind of popped up in my head. What would Tyson do with the lead leg?
With
here. Lead leg to look.
Oh, actually, you know what? I think that would be his problem.
Yeah.
Check this out. I think sort of what would give him fits is if someone were very mobile and could hit him with that kind of stuff. I think that would fluster him. If they didn't mind, like someone like Israel Adesanya, someone that didn't mind, like give me like a flurry, someone that didn't mind like doing this a lot, right, to steal the shot. You know what I mean? Someone that didn't mind doing that much movement.
Especially how fighters are doing nowadays, how they're kicking to the calf now.
Yes.
That wasn't really big back then, but probably, I think that'd give him problems.
The inside lead leg would be
boom, boom. Right.
I do think that probably out of everything, and if you're willing to run a little bit and be on your bicycle, you know what I mean? You tag me, right, and get frustrated, and he would become aggressive and leap to like, you know, and if you could, run your way out of there, you know what I mean? You'd be hitting a lot of guys doing stuff like that, which in MMA you have no corners, right? He can't corner you as easily. That's the game plan. So wow, we covered how to fight like Mike Tyson in MMA and how to beat Mike Tyson in MMA.
What would you do to him? Yeah. Like, what are you talking about? Like the present time or back then when, he would have been kind of relevant?
Oh, I think back then he would have had an even easier time.
I think so too.
Back then, if someone had got a hold of him and said, hey, they're doing this, but the money wasn't there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The fame wasn't there. But if like the worlds were reversed, right? And MMA was popular then and boxing was not.
Ooh, are we talking about 90s MMA?
Yeah, I think he would dominate.
I think he'd beat like Tank Abbott.
Oh my God, yeah.
I think Kevin Randleman would probably give him a problem.
Randleman, yeah.
I think he might be Boss.
You think he beats Boss?
I think he may be Boss.
Boss is too smart.
Okay.
Boss is too smart and not scared. You know, he's too intelligent.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, probably a good, tough wrestler. Maybe like Randy Couture.
Randy Couture could grind him out and frustrate him.
Mark Coleman, depending on what round. Mark Coleman, you got first round.
What version of him? Yeah, what version of Coleman? Comment below what you think about this. Like, who does he stack up against? How does he compare back then? How does he compare in the future? I think this is a fun thing to think about, and I think if you want to think about it, you should give it more thought than just like, oh, Tyson fight good. He do good MMA. Like, you haven't even thought about it. You're just like, oh, you teach that man to sprawl in 6 months and he's running through everybody. What I'm saying is he's more of a thoughtful athlete than people give him credit for. He's a lot smarter than people think.
Yes. Maybe the next one, maybe Manny Pacquiao going into MMA.
Comment below. Who do you want to see us cover next?
Tyson Fury's supposed to be going.
Tyson Fury in MMA?
He wants to fight Francis.
Don't do that. Don't do that, Tyson. Don't do that. Actually, I don't know. Holy shit. You know what?